I've been in China for the last couple of days with Xiaomi for the release of their two new phones, the Mix Fold 4 and the Mix Flip. Now, if you want to see a video on the Mix Flip, make sure you subscribe to the channel because that one should be up and you don't want to miss it. But this one is all about the Mix Fold 4. So let me tell you everything that you would need to know. First thing first, that this is not going to be available outside of China, which I think is a real shame because this really stacks up against some of the folding phones that we have already. Let's start with the display though, and of course on any folding phone you get two displays. So let's start with the cover display. Now this is a really nice display. It's the same size as the Mix Fold 3 from last year, so it's a 6.5 inch display. It's not too tall and I feel like it's just about wide enough to feel really comfortable when holding it. It's 120 Hz and it has Dolby Vision, and as soon as you start using this display, everything on it just pops and it looks so crisp. It's got a peak brightness of 3000 nits and a full screen brightness of 1700 nits. So if you are out in direct sunlight, this is more than bright enough that you can see that display with no problem. That outer display hasn't really changed much from last year, except for one change, where Xiaomi have ditched Corning Gorilla Glass and have now gone for their own Xiaomi Shield Glass. Xiaomi claim that their Shield Glass is more durable by degrees, whatever that means. Where there has been a bit of a change though is on that inner display, and the change is an odd one because the display's actually got a bit smaller. It has pretty much the exact same specs as that outer display, but like I said, it's got slightly smaller. So it's now a 7.98 inch display, whereas last year it was an 8.03 inch display. And there's no mention as to why it's dropped in size. And of course, you're not going to be able to really tell when you're using it, but it has got ever so slightly smaller. With any folding phone, you are going to see the crease, and it is the same here. So if the display is off, you can see that crease, like it's quite obvious, but once the display is on and you're using it, you can't really tell it's there. And the only reason you can tell it's there is if you accidentally put your finger across it, and even then I don't think it stands out that much. The design is where Xiaomi have excelled this year with the Mix Fold 4, and it's now the lightest folding phone you can get on the market. It now weighs just 226 grams, which is lighter than both the Galaxy Z Fold 6 and even beating the thinnest V2. When unfolded, the Mix Fold 4 is just 4.59 millimeters, which again beats the Z Fold 6. They said that they were able to do this by shrinking that hinge by 34%. So it's now the lightest folding phone that you can get your hands on. Sadly though, like I mentioned, it's not coming outside of China. Xiaomi say that this is also rated for over 500,000 folds. So if you wanted to put that to the test, you'd have to fold and unfold the phone every single day, all day for about a year. A couple of things that you might want to know. So Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 is what's powering it, and it's IPX8 resistant. So it means you can actually get it in water and be fine, but it doesn't have any sort of like dust resistance if you were to get that in between the hinges or on the screen. Now for its cameras, the Mix Fold 4 has 4 of them. The 50 megapixel main, 50 megapixel telephoto, 12 megapixel ultra wide, and the 5x periscope. And it has that Leica partnership as well, so you can pick between those photographic styles and filters if that's what you want to do. I can't give you an honest review of this camera because I only had my hands on it for 30 minutes, so you can see a couple of the pictures that I took here, and I mean the details are great. It's punchy, it's maybe a bit too vibrant for some people's liking, but you know what, I quite like it. I think it's all right. For videos it can do up to 8K and of course 4K 60, so you can see a few of them here, and I think that stabilization is pretty decent, but again I can't give you an in-depth look at this because I didn't get much chance to play with it. I think the biggest upgrade to the Mix Fold 4 this year is its battery, because it comes with a 5100 milliamp hour battery, and if you compare that to the likes of the Galaxy Z Fold 6, that only has a 4400 milliamp hour battery, and quite impressive that Xiaomi have been able to put such a big battery in something that is so thin. The charging speeds are the same as last year, 50 watts wireless and 67 watts hypercharge if you were to plug that in via the cable. If you're inside China and want to pick these up, you can get these in white, blue and black. The other iteration that Xiaomi is offering though is its Xiaomi carbon fiber, which is apparently more durable than the other colors, 15% improved impact resistance amongst a few other things, but I can't tell you how accurate this is because we don't really have much to compare it against. In terms of pricing and what memory it's going to have and RAM, at the time of recording this, Xiaomi haven't told me the price or the storage or what RAM this would come with, but if we do find that out, I'll pop it up on screen now. But you can kind of take the Mix Fold 3 as an example. That started at 256 gigs of storage and went up to 1 terabyte, so you could probably expect the same with this. I think it's a shame that the Mix Fold 4 won't leave China, because I think it would stack up really well with what is out there at the moment, the OnePlus Open, the Honor Magic V2 and 3, and the Galaxy Z Fold 6. So it's a shame that we probably won't be able to get our hands on it. But what do you think of this? Let me know in the comments below. If this was available outside of China, would you pick one of these up? Because it'd be really tempting. Before you head off, make sure you subscribe to the Android Authority YouTube channel. And if you do that, then I'll see you in the next video.